comes the way it always does. No announcement, no parade. Light moves gently on the curtains, like it has nothing to persuade. The city starts its usual hum. Kettle answers with a sigh. Nothing in the world is different, but my heart is quietly aligned. You're still here when I wake up, not wrapped around me, not in a scene. Just in the room, breathing slowly, like you've always belonged between. The blanket is half on, half off. Your hair is soft disaster, and I smile without thinking, because the day feels lighter after. You reach for your phone, then stop, like it doesn't matter yet. And that tiny choice feels louder than any promise we could have said. I walk to the kitchen barefoot, wood floor cool and clean, and I hear your steps behind me, like a rhythm I didn't know I needed. We don't mention what we know, we don't circle it with words, but the air between us holds it, like a song without the chorus. Same morning, new meaning, same light on your face. Nothing changed on the outside, but my heart moved place to place. Not a vow, not a label, not a line we had to cross, just the quiet becoming stable, just the almost turning soft. Same morning, new meaning, like the day learned how to stay, and everything we didn't say still somehow speaks anyway. You pour coffee like you've practiced 2 cups, no asking which is mine. You remember how I take it, not sweet, just warmth, just time. We talk about the groceries, what we forgot, what we should buy. And it's funny how a shopping list can feel like a small reply. Not to love, not to fate, not to questions we avoid, but to the simple truth of building something gentle we enjoy. You open up the window, let the cold air in, and I hand you the sweater without thinking, without when. It's the smallest kind of caring, the kind nobody applauds, but it's the kind that grows a home from the most ordinary parts. Maybe this is how it lasts, not loud, not fast, not bright, just the steady repetition of choosing soft each night. Same morning, new meaning, same street, same sky, but the silence feels less empty since you've learned to stay nearby. Not a promise on paper, not a story we must tell, just the quiet growing safer, like it knows us very well. Same morning, new meaning, like a door left open wide, not for anyone to enter, just for peace to live inside. Later, shoes by the doorway, keys in your usual place. You stand there tying laces, I watch the calm in your face. You say you'll be back after work, like it's obvious, like it's true. And my chest doesn't tighten, it just believes you. I don't ask for reassurance, you don't offer it that makes the day feel lighter. You leave and I clean the table, wipe rings from the cups, and the quiet isn't lonely, it's just the room catching up. I play music low while folding your shirt mixed into mine, and it doesn't feel like stealing, it feels aligned. There was a time I feared the quiet, like it meant I'd be alone. But now the quiet feels like comfort, like the sound of something grown. Same morning, new meeting, same walls, same view, but the room feels less like fighting, since it's learned the shape of you. Not a claim, not a contract, not a future carved in stone, just a calm, old, simple habits that make this place feel like home. Same morning, new meaning, like the clock slowed down for us, and I'm not asking for forever, but I'm grateful for because sometimes I catch myself smiling at nothing, at the air, because I remember how your eyes looked when I realized you were already there. Not in the past, not in a fantasy, but in the smallest future I could see. A future that doesn't demand perfection, just presence, just honesty. And it's strange how love can deepen without a single speech, how it can build itself in silence just by staying within reach. You don't need to rescue me, I don't need. Late afternoon, the room feels slow. Sunlight leaning on the floor. Nothing special, nothing new. Still I notice you a little more. You folding shirts you left here once, like it wasn't even planned. They don't feel borrowed anymore, they just fit into my hands. We talk about the weekend plans, nothing far, nothing deep. But my mind drifts past the clock into places I don't speak. I see you reaching for a glass, like you've done it all along. And I wonder when it happened that this started feeling strong. Not a question, not a fear, just a thought that passes through, like the future leaning near, just to see what we might do before we call it tomorrow. Before we say what this could be, there's a picture in my head I don't show you yet. Quietly, not a plan, not a vow, just a feeling I allow. Before we call it tomorrow, it's already visiting me, like a morning I can't see, but I know the shape somehow. Before we call it tomorrow, it's already here right now. You talk about a place you love, somewhere by the sea, and I almost say I've been there too, but instead I just let it be. I imagine us not trying, just arriving, just awake, sharing silence with the waves for no reason, just because you don't know. This crossed my mind, and I don't need you to. Some thoughts are meant to land, they're just passing through. It's not hope and it's not need, it's It's not something I request, it's just comfort growing seeds in the quiet of my chest. Before we call it tomorrow, before the future has a name, there's a softness in the now that already feels the same. Not a promise I'm asking for, not a road I want you on, just a sense that there's a door that's been open all along. Before we call it tomorrow, I don't need to make it stay. I just notice how easily it shows up anyway. Maybe love doesn't announce, maybe time just lets it in, like a song you hum one day, then realize you've known it since. No big dream, no perfect scene, just your shoes by the door, and the thought that feels too real to pretend it's nothing more. Soft breakdown, not asking, not scared, just seeing you there. Not forever, not now, just a future passing by somehow. Before we call it tomorrow, before we say what comes next, there's a calm inside the moment I don't wanna overtext. Not a rush, not a claim, just a thought I let be free. Before we call it tomorrow, it's already part of me. If it comes in time. If it doesn't, that's okay. But I know this feeling's real before tomorrow has a say. Evening settles, lights go low, you smile, nothing said, and I carry something quiet home that's already ahead. Morning light finds two marks dry inside by side. No one moved them on purpose, they just ended up aligned. The room breathes like it knows us, like it's learned our pace. Nothing new has been added, still everything's in place. Your toothbrush next to mine, blue touching white. Not a question, not a joke, just another quiet sight. You left it there last night without asking if it's okay. And I noticed then decided there was nothing I needed to say. Your keys rest in the bowl where my keys already sleep. They don't clash, they don't crowd, they just fit comfortably. I remember when my space was something I defended. Now it opens without effort, like it was always intended. It's not about where we at, it's about where we stop moving away. It's about letting things stay. Smallest ways, in the things we don't announce, in the habits that stay. Not a choice we made out loud, not a rule we had to map, just the quiet understanding as our lives overlap. Same sink, different mornings, same floor, different shoes. And somehow in the middle I keep finding you. Saturday comes without plans, we wake up slow, unafraid. No schedule pulling us forward, no moment we need to create. You read while I make breakfast, music low, half wrong. I burn the toast a little, you laugh, say nothing's wrong. We talk about nothing important and everything feels said, like comfort learned our language and speaks inside our heads. mentioned calling your friend. I mentioned doing laundry. Two separate lives, still breathing, but closer than they used to be. We didn't merge, we didn't lose. We just learned how not to refuse. Our lives overlap like afternoon light. Not sudden, not sharp, just slowly turning right. Not a future drawn in ink, not a past we unwrap. Just the present stretching gently as our lives overlap. In grocery lists and leftovers and borrowed socks and time, in the way later starts meaning not yours, not mine. You know where I keep the towels, I know how you like the room. We stop explaining little things like we've already assumed. You leave before I wake, sometimes I wake before you too. But there's comfort in the knowing we're both moving through days that don't need witnesses, through nights that don't perform, through ordinary hours that quietly transform. I used to think love was visible, something others could see. Now I think it's in alignment and shared simplicity. Nothing dramatic settles in, nothing suddenly clicks. It's just life finding rhythm in the ordinary mix. Our lives overlap in the way we wait, in the way we don't panic if the other's late. Not possession, not demand, not a closeness that traps, just space growing familiar as our lives overlap. Two calendars still separate, but weekends intertwine. And I stop wondering if you're leaving or staying tonight. There was a time I thought closeness meant giving something up, meant shrinking, meant bending, meant losing my own cup. But this feels different, this feels wide, like two rivers side by side. We don't erase the edges, we don't blur the lines, we just walk parallel long enough to share the time. And sometimes our hands touch, not to promise, not to swear, just to check the other's there. I don't need you to be everything, you don't ask me to be more. We're not filling empty spaces, we're just opening the door to mornings that feel easier, to nights that don't demand, to a life that doesn't shout to be something grand. I still have my name, you still have yours, but the silence knows us as more. Not louder, not tight, just closer every night. Our lives overlap and I don't feel small, I don't feel swallowed, I don't feel cold, I feel steady, I feel seen. Like this space between us learned what it means. Not a future we secured, not a love we unwrapped, just a day making room as our lives overlap. And if one day things change, if paths slowly adapt, I'll still be grateful for how gently our lives overlap. Night falls the way it does, shoes by the door again. Too loud are still breathing, but closer than they've been. No announcement, no mark, no sentence to cap, just the quiet truth. Morning comes without asking. Light spills where it always spills. Kettle starts its little singing. Time does what it always wills. And I don't brace for anything. I don't check if you're still here, because the quiet isn't lonely and the room feels clear. Your hoodie on the chair again, not an accident, not a sign. Just the way the room has learned to hold a little of yours and mine. Two cups waiting by the sink, same pattern, different hands. I rinse yours without thinking, like it's part of my plans. But it's not a plan at all, that's the point, that's the truth. It's just the way my body moves when the day begins with you. I used to notice every change, every step that felt brand new. Now I don't even count the moments, they just happen and they're true. At some point the heart stops asking, what is this? And starts answering, this is it. Like it's always been this way, like we didn't have to try, like the world just made a place for you and I. Not a headline, not a scene, not a story we retell, just the calm becoming real, like it knows us well, like it's always been this way, like your name fits in my day, and I don't even think to question why you stay. You text, need anything before you head back home. Not romantic, not dramatic, just a simple tone. And the way it warms my chest is almost hard to name, because it's not the rush of newness, it's the comfort of the same. I find your socks in my laundry, I fold them without a smile. Not because it isn't sweet, but because it's been a while. Because sweetness shifts its shape when it's real, and when it laughs it stops showing off for anyone. It stops looking like the past. We talk about the bills sometimes, about work, about the rate, and somewhere in those ordinary words we keep choosing each other again. No speeches, no proving, just returning, just staying. Like it's always been this way, like the air knows what to do, like my hands don't hesitate when they reach for you. Not a promise made in gold, not a forever we defend, just the quiet kind of love that doesn't need to pretend. Like it's always been this way, like the night is softer too, and I fall asleep so easy next to you. Saturday afternoon, grocery store. You push the cart too fast, I complain, you laugh. We pass the aisle, we always pass. We pick the same kind of tea without even asking why. And I catch myself thinking this is what home feels like. Not a house, not a place, not a dream I have to chase, just the way you look at me when you're deciding what to make. We carry bags up the stairs, two sets of hands, one rhythm. And I realize I don't feel like I'm borrowing this, I'm living in it. At some point love stops arriving and starts existing in every small thing. flame, not a love that burns bright and leaves, just a steady warmth that stays and teaches me to breathe. Like it's always been this way, like my life has learned your name. Like love can be a quiet praise and still never be the same. Like it's always been this way, and maybe that's the truest sign that what we are is in a moment passing by. It's a life softly taking its time. Night comes the way it does, kettle quiet, lights go dim. You say I'm here without the words, and I answer from within. Like it's always been this way, like the world can do what it will, because here in this ordinary love, everything is still. Everything is still. The door closes softer than usual, you've been breathing low. I don't know what I'll say first, I just know where I'll go. The room waits without question, slides steady kind. And for the first time all day, I don't leave myself behind. I sit where I always sit, shoes still on, coat undone. You notice but you don't rush, you don't ask what's wrong. I've worn this calm like armor all day, every hour. Held myself straight and steady, like that was strength, like that was power. But the second I'm near you, something in me loosens its grip. Not because I'm breaking down, but because I don't have to keep it zip. I've told stories before, I've shared facts, I've explained, but this feels different somehow. This isn't something I can frame. I let you see me like this, not strong, not composed, not the version I show the world when I'm holding everything close. No drama, no scene, just a truth I don't dress. I let you see me like this, and you don't love me less. I start with something small, something safe to release. A tired laugh, a half sentence that doesn't quite find its peace. You listen without interrupting, like you're not waiting your turn, like my words don't need fixing, like my mess doesn't need to earn. Then my voice shifts unexpectedly, just a crack, just once. And I stop out of habit, out of fear, out of response. But you don't move away, you don't reach too fast. You stay exactly where you are, like you know this moment will pass. I realize how rare this is, to not be hurried through, to feel my way touching ground and not feel like I'm hurting you. I let you see me like this, a little unsure, a little bare, not asking for answers, not asking you to repair, just letting the quiet hold me, letting my breath regress. I let you see me like this, and you don't love me less. never said, not because they're dark or deep, but because I didn't know where they were safe to keep. Fears that don't look dramatic, doubts that don't sound brave, the kind that live in between, the kind I never learned to name. I tell you how I sometimes wonder if I'm enough when no one's looking, how I hold it together so well that even I forget I'm still hoping. You don't correct my thinking, you don't tell me I'm wrong, you just let my words exist without turning them into a song. And in that quiet permission, something fragile stands tall, not because it's defended, but because it doesn't have to crawl. I let you see me like this, not polished, not secure, not the version with answers, not the one that's sure, just the me that gets tired, that sometimes needs rest. I let you see me like this, and you don't love me less. I used to think vulnerability was something you perform, a confession, a breaking point, a moment where you're torn. But this feels softer than that, like setting a bag down, like admitting I don't have the strength to carry every sound. I'm not asking you to save me, I'm not asking you to stay, I'm just letting you witness what I usually hide away. And you don't turn it into something, you don't make it a test, you don't say it'll be okay, you just let it be what it is. And somehow that's what heals me, not reassurance or advice, but the way my truth can sit here without being asked to change its size. I don't need fixing, I don't need proof, I just need it somewhere I could tell the truth, not loudly, not long, just honestly, just once. I notice my breathing slow, I notice my hands unclench. You pass me water like before, like you know the wrench. Not the dramatic kind of care, just the practiced quiet one, the kind that says I see you, without spotlight, without a gun. I realize I'm not embarrassed, I'm not smaller than before. If anything, I feel taller standing on the steady floor. This is what safety does, it doesn't shout, it allows. I let you see me like this, and nothing falls apart. The room stays standing, so does my heart. No shame, no regret, no words to impress. I let you see me like this, and you don't love me less. I let you see me like this, and something inside me rests, because love didn't disappear when I wasn't at my best. Not because you promised anything, not because you took control, but because you stayed present while I showed you my hole. If this is what it means to come back home and undress, then this might be the bravest thing I've ever done, to confess. I let you see me like this, and you don't love me less. Night settles the way it does, lights dim, voices low. I don't leave lighter because I'm fixed, I leave lighter because I know there is a place, there is a face where I don't have to be more. And when I let you see me like this, I finally believe that I'm safe on this floor. Late evening lights still on, windows open just a bit. Nothing wrong, nothing drawn, still the room feels different. I thought the thought was only mine, something passing soft and brief. But the night takes its time and leaves more underneath. We sit across the table, not close enough to touch, talking about the ordinary like it doesn't mean much. You mentioned next month casually, like it's just another day. But there's a pause inside your voice that doesn't fade away. You say, maybe someday, then laugh it off too fast, like you weren't trying to let it show. You weren't talking about the past. And something shifts inside my chest, not loud, not sharp, not new, just the quiet understanding that maybe you see it too. I don't ask what you meant, you don't try to explain, but there's a look that stays a second more than coincidence can claim. You were already there, in the place my mind went to, in the future I pretended I wasn't thinking through. Not a promise, not a plan, just a feeling passing by. But when I see it in your eyes, I know I didn't imagine mine. You were already there before I let myself see that the thought I kept so quiet wasn't only visiting me. We walk outside, evening cool, street sounds low and thin. You slow your step unconsciously so I can fall in. Not dramatic, barely notice, but I catch the way you stay, like you're leaving room beside you in a very careful way. You talk about your childhood street, how it changed, how it didn't. And I see a version of you that feels close without permission. Then you say, I think about things ahead, like it's nothing, like it's air. But your eyes don't look away, and that's when I know you're there. Not searching, not unsure, not asking for a sign, just two separate thoughts arriving at the same place in time. You were already there, in the quiet of my head, in the version of tomorrow I never said out loud. Instead, not a future I demanded, not a road I tried to see, just a feeling I allowed until you mirrored it back to me. You were already there before I named the view, and suddenly the picture feels a little less like something I outgrew. Later, sitting on the couch, space enough between your shoulder leans just slightly, like it knows where it should be. We watch something neither cares about, just noise to let us breathe. But there's more happening in silence than we ever speak. You ask me what I want someday, not with you, just in life. But the way you say the question feels carefully alive. I answer slow, not wanting to disturb the calm we're in. But I notice how you listen, like my answer fits you in. And I wonder how long you've been holding this too. Not the words, not the future, just the thought of us being true. You were already there, in the pauses that we keep, in the spaces between sentences that run a little deep. Not the fear we used to know, just the gentle recognition that we're thinking in the same direction. Slow, you were already there, and I didn't need to ask, 'cause the truth was in the way you stayed, not in anything you said back. Maybe this is how it happens, not with fireworks or fear, but with two people slowly noticing the same horizon drawing near. Not because we're missing something, not because we're incomplete, but because being here together made the future feel less steep. I don't reach for your hand, you don't pull away. We let the moment choose its shape and decide how long it stays. And in that gentle agreement, something settles, something real. Not a vow, not a promise, just a truth we both can feel. I didn't plan this, did you? I didn't push, did you move too? Some thoughts don't belong to only one heart. Some paths are visible before they extend. You were already there in the life I almost saw, in the ordinary future that doesn't need much more. Not a ring, not a date, not a claim we have to make, just a sense that when I look ahead, it's easier to breathe with you in the frame. You were already there, and somehow that feels right, like the future wasn't pulling us, just waiting in plain sight. Night gets quiet, lights go low. Nothing's changed it seems, but something solid took a step out of passing dreams. Nothing looks different in the room. Same light, same air, but something underneath the quiet has learned how to stay there. No echo of what I said last night, no tension left behind, just a calm that feels thicker somehow, like trust taking its time. We wake without mentioning it, the words I left exposed, not because they don't matter, but because they don't need to be closed. You make coffee like always, I watch the steam rise slow, and there's no awkward space between us. No need to let me know that you remember, that you didn't forget, that what I showed you didn't change the set. You treat me exactly the same, and that's when I understand. Nothing broke in your hands. There's a kind of strength that doesn't tighten its grip. It just stays and lets things exist. We grow stronger in the quiet, not by pulling close, but by not stepping back from what mattered most. No repair, no disguise, no moment to defend, just the calm of knowing this didn't reach an end. We grow stronger in the quiet, where nothing needs to prove that love can hold more weight without changing how it moves. You ask me how I slept, not like you're checking for damage, just like you always do. Gentle, steady, unpanicked, I answer honestly, not lighter, not heavy, and you're not like that makes sense, like truth doesn't scare you. Later you touch my shoulder the same way you did before, not soft or not careful, not like I'm fragile or sore, and somehow that normal touch feels deep deeper than concern, because it says I don't need you to be different to stay. I realize trust isn't built when someone saves you. It's built when they don't leave after they see you. We grow stronger in the quiet, in the way nothing changed, in the way the ordinary still feels safely arranged. Not a promise spoken out, not a future we recite, just the steady reassurance that the ground still feels right. We grow stronger in the quiet, where the bravest thing we do is let yesterday settle without pulling it through. I notice myself breathing easier in places I used to tense. I notice I don't edit my thoughts before they make sense. You hear me finish sentences that don't sound impressive. You don't rush to reframe them, you let them stay messy. And I don't flinch when you go quiet, I don't wonder what it means, because silence here isn't distance, it's just space in between. We've learned the difference between absence and rest, and that lesson alone has made us stronger than most. Nothing dramatic happened, nothing had to be said, but the trust grew roots where the fear used to live instead. We grow stronger in the quiet, like wood aging in a wall. Not seen, not praised, but holding it all. Not louder, not brighter, not harder to break, just deeper in the places where strength doesn't shake. We grow stronger in the quiet, and I finally see that safety isn't fragile when it's built honestly. I thought vulnerability would change things, tilt the balance, move the ground. I thought once seen, once open, something precious would come undone. But instead the world stayed still, the door didn't close, and the calm that followed was stronger than any oath. You didn't wrap me in reassurance, you didn't turn my fear into a lesson, you just stayed the same. And somehow that was the protection, because love that can stay normal after truth is revealed is love that doesn't need to make a big deal. And I don't feel smaller for being known, I feel wider, more aligned, like I don't have to leave pieces behind. I don't brace, I don't hide, I don't shrink inside, I stand as I am, and you don't move away. Days pass quietly, nothing marked on a page, but I notice how disagreement doesn't feel like a stage. We don't always agree, we don't always align, but the space between us no longer feels like a sign of something about to break, of something we must fix. It just feels like life doing what life does best, and I trust the return, I trust the rhythm we keep, because it survived honesty and still chose to sleep. Some bonds get louder, some get tight, ours just learned how to hold the night. We grow stronger in the quiet, every time we stay, every time nothing dramatic needs to be said. Not because we ignore the truth, but because we let it breathe, and strength grows naturally where love doesn't leave. We grow stronger in the quiet, and I don't fear what's next, because when it comes we already passed the test. Not of perfection, not of might, but of staying present in honest light. Evening settles like it always does, lights dim, voices low, and I realize strength didn't arrive, it was here all along. In the quiet where we didn't run, where we didn't change, where we stayed, and somehow that's how we became unbreakable. The city doesn't ask how I am, it just keeps moving on. The lights change, people pass, days get heavy, then they're gone. I walk through it all, holding what I need, and somehow, without rushing, I know exactly where to be. Some days come home loud, with words stuck in my chest. Some days come home quiet, just tired, nothing left. I don't rehearse a story, I don't check what I should say, because the moment I see you, the noise loosens its grip anyway. You don't ask what happened, not right away, not first. You hand me water, sit nearby, like you already know what works. Your presence doesn't fix the day, it doesn't make it right, but it gives my breath a place to land, and that feels like coming back to life. It's not about escape, it's not about being saved, it's about knowing where I can be exactly as I am. You're where I come back to, not the walls, not the roof, but the way my shoulders drop the second I'm with you. Not a destination on a map, not a place I have to earn, just the quiet certainty of where my heart returns. You're where I come back to after the long, long day, when the world forgets my shape. You remember me that way. I hang a coat where yours already is, keys lamp with a familiar sound, not because we planned this life, but because this is where it's found. We move around each other easily, like furniture that fits. No corner sharp, no space to guard, no need to explain the bits. You talk about something small, I nod, I listen, I stay, and the ordinary sound of your voice untangles the rest of my day. I used to need distraction, noise to drown the weight. Now all I need is your calm to recalibrate. Home isn't silence, home isn't noise, it's the place where I don't have to choose. You're where I come back to when I don't know what I feel, when everything's too much to name, but somehow still real. Not a fix, not a cure, not a role you play, just the steady way you let me arrive, however I am that day. You're where I come back to when I didn't see it start. One day I just noticed you'd become the center of my heart. Some nights I speak in fragments, some nights I don't speak at all, and you never push the silence, never make it feel too small. You sit close, not too close, like you know the line, and somehow in that careful space I feel completely fine. I realize slowly this isn't about need. I'm not here because I can't stand alone, I'm here because this is where I breathe. I've built many versions of home, rooms, routines, walls, but none of them held me like this without asking anything at all. At some point safety stops being a place and starts being a person where I come back to when the day takes too much, when I forget my own voice, when I lose my sense of touch. Not a promise you declared, not a future you designed, just the place my nervous heart finally unwind. You're where I come back to when I don't apologize for needing nothing more than the truth in your eyes. I used to think strength meant standing alone, carrying everything without a sound. But strength can also be knowing where you're allowed to set things down. And I don't set them down on you, I set them down with you. There's a difference and it matters. It makes this something true. You don't carry my weight, you don't take it as your own. You just make space beside you, so I'm not holding it alone. And in that shared stillness, something permanent appears, not locked in place, not afraid of change, but steady through the years. If one day we move houses, if one day cities shift, I know this will still exist, because this was never about the lift. It was about the return, the quiet, the calm, the way my breath thinks with yours, like it finally belongs. I don't run to you, I come home. I don't collapse, I arrive. I don't disappear, I'm seen. And somehow that's enough. You're where I come back to when I don't know the way, when the world feels The day starts like it always does. No promise, no design, but somehow it remembers us before we cross the line. The door opens the same old way, shoes land where they land, yet there's something here that stays, only we understand. You tap the light switch twice before you leave the room. I never asked you why, it just became part of the tune. I lock the door, then check again, not out of fear, just habit now. And you always wait a second, like we learned this without knowing how. We don't say be careful, we don't say come back soon. You just lift your hand slightly and I nod like yes, I know you'll be home. At some point it stopped being strange, at some point it stopped being new. And quietly, without naming it, it turned into something we always do. It's not a rule, it's not a sign, it's just the rhythm we fell into over time. These are the things we always do, no reason, no excuse. Not romantic, not profound, but they pull us back when we're loose. Not a vow, not a cue, just a language we grew into. These are the things we always do, and somehow they're holding us too. Like the way you leave the door unlocked for 3 seconds after I arrive. Like the way I warm your hands without realizing every time. Every Sunday afternoon we forget to plan the night. You say should we cook, I say we might. We stand too long in the kitchen, not hungry yet, just there, music playing. first I tasted till we both decide it needs more salt. Not because we talked it through, but because we've learned each other's fault. You lean on the counter when you're tired, I stand between you and the sink. And it's funny how the smallest things are what I miss when I think. It's not about what we decide, it's about what we repeat, until repetition becomes trust, and trust feels easy to keep. These are the things we always do that no one else would see. The little pauses, the timing that quietly choose. We, not a tradition we explain, not something passed down through years, just habits born from staying, from showing up without fear. Like the way you always say my name, softest when you're unsure. Like the way I answer you before you finish the word. At night when the lights are low, you always reach for my wrist, not my hand, not my shoulder, just there like a checklist. And I know it means you're here, not asking, not demanding, just making sure the distance is something we're both handling. We don't talk about tomorrow, but you set your alarm 5 minutes earlier than mine, so we wake up in the same calm. I notice you never mention it, and that's how I know it's real, because the best kind of caring is the kind you don't reveal. Some people make promises, we make patterns, and patterns don't disappear overnight. These are the things we always do. They don't look like much, but they catch us when we drift apart. They remember our touch, not a rule we'd ever say out loud to anyone else, just the quiet ways we choose each other without checking ourselves. Like the way you knock once even when it's your key, like the way I leave the hall light on so you don't have to see. I used to think love lived in moments you could point at, and sentences you could quote, and stories that had shaped. But this lives in between, in the spaces that repeat, in the things that would feel strange if someone else did them with me. If you stopped tapping the switch, if I stopped waiting by the door, if Sundays felt empty again, if the kitchen felt like a floor, that's when I know that this mattered, that this wasn't temporary, that love didn't need to announce itself to be necessary. It just needed time and 2 people willing to keep doing the same small things until they meant something. It's not the big days, it's the in-between. It's the way we move when no one's seen. Not loud, not new, just the things we always do. These are the things we always do, and I don't think about why they don't feel like effort anymore. They feel like where I lie, not a cage, not a chain, not something I outgrew, just a quiet proof of love that keeps choosing you. If the world shifts shape someday, if life asks us to move, I know we'll find our way back through the things we always do. Because love didn't show up once and then leave us to guess it stayed. It practiced, it learned, it became this. The night ends like it always does, lights off, door half closed. You touch my arm without looking, like a signal only we know. No goodnight speech,